This is a place full of working folks, students, folks who care. And I think about this. You came out here early, found a place to park, stood in the sun, sat here and wait, and you did it. You did it for one simple and eloquent and beautiful reason.
I wish I had been there. And there was Oliver Wendell Holmes. And actually, you can. I don't believe you're a lawyer, Governor Walz. You can yell fire in a crowded theater and you can say hateful things because this is the United States of America. And it's right there in amendment number.
Megyn Kelly didn't just challenge Tim Walz. She took him to the political mat. Walz walked in thinking he could lean on his governor credentials, but Megyn came armed with facts and attitude. She didn't debate him, she dismantled him. It was a crash course in why underestimating Megyn Kelly is a mistake. This wasn't polite disagreement. It was a verbal demolition.
I speak like they do. People are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I speak especially passionately about, and then he goes on to blame it on the school shootings. I guess he was upset about school shootings, so he lied. But stop saying you speak like we do. I speak like regular people. What kind of bullshit is that? No, you don't, sir. We don't lie about military service we didn't actually perform, like going to war. We don't steal valor by saying that we...
Before we dive deeper, hit that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming. So, Tim Walz thought he could coast quietly, huh? He's been stuck in the Minnesota bubble so long he probably believes the rest of America sees him as some wholesome casserole-carrying dad. Then Megyn Kelly shows up and rips off the Minnesota Nice wrapping paper to reveal what's inside. A career politician as bland and unmemorable as lukewarm soup.
What kind of a guy from the heartland goes to Yale? That's so dishonest. If you read his memoir or know anything about the guy, it's a miracle he wound up at Yale. He was a child of abuse. No dad, drug-addled mom, man after man in the house, including very abusive domestic violence.
Megyn didn't just criticize, she exposed him. She cracked open the can of Walz brand mediocrity and let everyone get a whiff. The truth. Walz has spent years in politics without leaving a single lasting impression. His greatest accomplishment? Surviving state fairs without sweating through his khakis. That's not a legacy, it's a punchline.
The moderators were disgusting, but J.D. Vance was a vision. And Tim Walz really did indeed look like the bumbling knucklehead he said he was.
Let's talk about his pandemic leadership, or lack thereof. Minnesota under Walz was like a group project where everyone phones it in. 1 week, businesses were locked down tighter than Fort Knox. The next, wide open like a garage sale. No consistency, no clarity. It was like watching someone play policy whack-a-mole blindfolded. Just chaos.
I do actually think this is all part of a theme, to be honest with you. It's like when the going got tough, he ran. He cut and ran on his Army National Guard team. When the going got tough in Minneapolis, he froze. He didn't send in the National Guard. Why? Because he thought there were a bunch of loser cooks who couldn't get the job done. Same units, who went to Iraq and Afghanistan, as the ad points out, 3 of whom trained under him and were killed. Okay.
Megyn's takedown wasn't just harsh, it was necessary. Left to his own devices, Walz would probably still be forming task forces to decide if sanitizer should come in gel or foam. Endless meetings, endless paperwork, and zero urgency. That's Tim Walz, the bureaucrat's bureaucrat.
He froze. Then COVID came. He didn't see through the bullshit. He reacted in a panicked, fear-stricken way, shutting down businesses at the drop of a hat and then jailing his own citizens when they didn't comply.
Now on to crime. Under Walz, Minnesota felt more like a lawless theme park. Looting, carjackings, boarded up stores. It was like watching society unravel in real time. And what did Walz do? Shrug. Form another committee. That's his answer to everything. More bureaucracy. Megyn called him out for it, reminding everyone that his leadership is a mix of cluelessness and denial. Oh, and that veteran card he loves to play? He retired just before his unit deployed to Iraq. That's not service. It's a convenient exit.
Examining him. And at the end of the movie, you find out that this guy doesn't have the limp he pretended to have, doesn't have like a bent hand that he pretended to have, that he's perfectly fine. He struts off into the sunset and we learn he was the bad guy all along. And I have to tell you, Mark, that is how I'm feeling today about Tim Walz. This guy.
Megyn nailed it. Walz likes the appearance of being a veteran without the responsibility. It's like wearing a varsity jacket after spending the whole season on the bench. And now, he's being floated as Kamala Harris's VP pick. That's not a power duo, that's a comedy of errors. Walz and Harris would be like two broken GPS systems arguing while driving straight into a ditch. Oh, and did we mention Walz's one consistent policy? Higher taxes. Because nothing says leadership like draining already struggling taxpayers.
That term's been thrown around quite a bit when it comes to Governor Tim Walz, the running mate of Kamala Harris, in this race in connection with his National Guard service. Many men who served with Governor Walz when he was in the National Guard and who served under him have come forward to accuse him of that sin, stealing valor from the men he served with by inflating his military rank and by abandoning his...
Schools under Walz. A disaster. Test scores in freefall, classrooms a mess, and teachers running for the exits. Walz's solution? Throw more money at the problem and hope no one notices the fire. Megyn made it clear, this isn't leadership. It's a guy clinging to press conferences and dad jokes while the system crumbles around him.
You've got Tim Walz. Okay, Jen Psaki, she's a talking head, whatever. But Tim Walz was recently the vice presidential candidate on the Democratic ticket. Maybe you would expect a little better, a little higher in terms of the rhetoric. You would be disappointed. Here is SOT 27.
In the morning and you doom scroll through things, and although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
Look at him. So chipper. Don't worry, there will be news.
Megyn's takedown was like watching someone reveal a magician's trick. Suddenly, the illusion of competence was gone. What's left? A politician fumbling through smoke and mirrors. Walz's legacy? Pandemic confusion, rising crime, tanking schools, and a conveniently timed military retirement. His not leading, his hiding in plain sight. Megyn pulled back the curtain, and the whole country saw the truth. Walz is a placeholder, not a leader.
And somehow, after joining the Marines, found himself at Ohio State and managed to do so well because he was a smart kid. He got a break and got into Yale, where Amy Chua took him under her wing. That is so gross. I guess I shouldn't be grossed out because politics.
Walz has this gift for talking endlessly without saying anything. His whole vibe is Midwestern charm, but charm without results is just noise. Under him, Minnesota became a policy experiment no one asked for. He's the substitute teacher of governors, handing out crossword puzzles instead of teaching the class. During the George Floyd riots, when the state needed strength, Walz gave timidity. Minneapolis burned. He hesitated. And that moment exposed everything.
Minnesota's strength comes from our values, our commitment to working together, to seeing past our differences, to always being willing to lend a helping hand. Those are the same values I learned on the family farm and tried to instill in my...
It's one of our favorites, was one of the founders' favorites, and was one of the founding principles upon which this country was built. There's no exception for speech Tim Walz or Kamala Harris magically deems hateful. But they've been pushing this, both of them, and a lot of Democrats have, for quite some time. These young Democrats on college campuses say that they believe that the Constitution doesn't protect hate speech, and those who understand that it does.
Megyn didn't miss that cowardice. She pointed out that his so-called measured approach during the riots looked more like hiding under his desk. And when it comes to the economy, Minnesota's tax rates are among the highest in the nation, while people flee to states with lower costs and more opportunity. What does Walz do? Smile for the camera, hold another press conference, and pretend everything's fine. Megyn didn't just poke holes, she tore the whole thing down.
No, really, there are worse examples of men than Tim Walz, admittedly, but we might also point out
no one's coming to mind, but I'm sure theoretically, spend enough time
if you're looking for archetype of admirable masculinity, I wouldn't start with him.
No.
Right. Well, the fact that was even an idea, I'm not trying to denigrate Walz specifically, but can I
just say on the same front, yes, as horrible as they come. Tampon in the boys' rooms, that's enough. Tampon Tim is enough to.
And then there's the absurdity of pairing Walz with Kamala Harris. Kamala, master of word salads. Walz, champion of beige politics. Together, they'd be a comedy sketch without the punchline. Megyn made it clear, this isn't leadership, it's desperation. Walz isn't the guy you trust with power. He's the guy you hope doesn't trip while carrying the water.
Tim Walz has a bone to pick with you, my friend. He was out there campaigning with Beto O'Rourke. Okay, why? I don't, but he was out there having a town hall with Beto. And he sees the loss in 2024 very differently than you do, my friend. Here he is.
Strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is.
He's also said that he used a weapon in war, which he hasn't. He was never deployed to war. He was deployed to Italy for a short time in 2003. But when his unit got the notice that they were being deployed to Iraq, Tim Walz retired.
Let's circle back to education. Under Walz, test scores plummeted. Kids are falling behind, while administrators cash big checks from bloated budgets. Walz's big move: throw more money at it and cross his fingers. Meanwhile, parents are wondering why their kids can't read at grade level. Megyn saw through the act. Walz isn't leading, he's occupying space. That's his political career in a nutshell. Just there.
Sir, we don't lie about military service we didn't actually perform, like going to war. We don't steal valor by saying that we had a higher rank in the National Guard than we did. We don't behave like that. You do. And you're asking for the second most powerful position in the nation. You want us to put you there. You can't even be...
And here's the punchline. Walz probably thinks Megyn was just being mean. But deep down, he knows she's right. He built a career on avoiding risk, responsibility, and real leadership. Megyn didn't just critique Walz, she spotlighted a larger issue: politicians who survive by doing the bare minimum. Walz is the poster child for passive governance. Thanks to Megyn Kelly, the whole country finally got a good look, and they weren't impressed.